Hi, everybody. Welcome to Yoniswell Surf Collective. My name is Jordan, and I'm the founder of Yoniswell. And just a brief bit of information about me to give you some context. I am a filmmaker. I'm also an evolutionary astrologer in the process of becoming a licensed therapist. So a lot of change is happening in my life as I'm integrating and applying so much new learning and um, new learning while I'm bringing in the gifts that I see value in keeping as I move forward on my own journey. So, Yoniswell Surf Collective, what is it? This is the YouTube channel that will serve as a resource for reconnecting community and cultivating community in this space because we are moving into some very different and fast energies. And Yoni Swell is definitely a unique space for you to connect with and resonate with as we are all changing and evolving and growing and evolving within our consciousness in the universe. So, my intention is to create a space that is practical, yet is enlightening as a way for you to heal and empower yourself and to create the life that you truly desire that's in alignment with your nature. And so Yoniswell Surf Collective is a space for healing and empowering the soul. It is a space for returning to our nature, deconditioning from how we learned to be. And instead of living from a conditioned self, we are liberating ourselves so that we are living from our natural self. And for many, that is an in depth process of actually removing the layers of conditioning and getting down to the heart of our intuitive self and simply just what feels natural to us. Now, the way in which we do this is we surf. We have a desire to surf and to become really good at something to where it brings us joy. And when I say become really good at it, I just mean that is subjective for each and every person. And so Yoni Swell is a space, a resource for connecting the dots for you when it comes to what is it that I need to do in order to begin my surfing journey, in order to maintain and sustain and to improve within my surfing journey. And it's it is about surfing, but it's also about connecting with the ocean and the wisdom of the ocean and connecting with the ocean to where we are listening to our inner voice and we have access to our intuition because the ocean is a guide. She is an intuitive guide that creates a space of liberation for us to face our own fears, to overcome our fears, to build a relationship with our own intuition, and also build a relationship with a setting where we are always improving and trusting the process. And beyond that, Yoni Swell cultivates through our innate connection to the ocean and to nature a space where we are returning to our nature. So, yes, this is a surf community. It is specifically designed for women. However, we welcome all masculine and feminine energies. Um, it is a space that creates a voice for the divine feminine, which is the energy in all of us to receive, to listen, to receive, and to trust. And then to take that out into the world and create whatever it is that our hearts desire. So, without further ado, I'm going to talk about the foundational course and program that Yoniswell offers. So, we operate from California, mostly the Los Angeles and Ventura area. We also spend time in El Salvador. So if you're visiting El Salvador, you can also utilize our services. We do provide surf lessons. We have individual and packaged lessons. However, our signature program is called Intuitive Surf Coaching. And what that is essentially is wherever you are in California, and if you're in El Salvador, you contact us and we assign a local surf expert and coach for your on land or in water, on land and in water surf coaching. And in congruence with that, you work with me on Zoom through the signature program. And so we do have individual lessons available. However, the program is designed for you to apply the knowledge, to build muscle memory, and to really get in touch with your internal surfing journey and also your external surfing journey. And they go hand in hand. So while you're working with me on Zoom, which is more of the intuitive approach, it's the application and the integration of everything that you're learning through your intuition and through your mindset as you are applying the knowledge that you are receiving in your physical surf coaching lessons. So you work with an expert in person, and then if that expert is not me, we assign you with a local expert in these locations. If you are in El Salvador, we assign you to a local surf guide and coach that is local to the area, and then I will work with you on Zoom. So each person is different, but what we do is we utilize the local communities who are experts in these areas in these surf breaks and surf waves, while you work with me on the more like psychological, mindset driven and intuitive approach. So now I'm going to take you through a presentation that talks about what the intuitive surf coaching program is. And this is an example of an actual resource guide that you would receive for example, the 4-week program. Okay. So I'm going to take you through, it's probably a quarter way through, and I'm going to explain the root and the foundation of the program. And then each week focuses on something specific. And we study everything from video analysis. We look at professionals. We look at your own video analysis as well. And each week will take you to an up level of each week you're progressing. And so again, it's subjected to the person, or it's specific to the person and their needs. However, each week will continue your progression, and there will be an experience of an up-leveling that takes place. So stay tuned, because at the end, I'm going to offer some of our specials and give you a little bit of an idea of the surf immersion experiences that we have coming up in the future. So here we go. Without further ado, I'm going to share my screen and walk through the Surf Intuitive Coaching Program with you at this time. Okay. So here we have the intuitive coaching program, surfing the waves of life and listening to your inner voice, which is essentially, in essence, us returning to our nature. That is perhaps a vague term, a general term, and you may be saying, I have no idea what that means, returning to my nature. Again, it's specific for each person. And what this does is it creates resonance. So as we move through any of the curriculum or any of the offerings within Yoniswell, you are cultivating a relationship with your intuition. And you are entering a space where you are asking yourself, does this resonate with me? Now, from a growth perspective, like a growth mindset perspective, we do not evolve through the mind. We do not emotionally grow through the mind. In order to evolve and to grow and to become the person that feels most natural to you, we must travel through the emotional body. And so this program and Yoniswell in general helps you stop over identifying with the mind, and it helps you drop into your heart and move through with trust, listening to your intuition. Now, how does this apply to my surfing? Well, when we are out in the ocean and we are learning how to surf waves and we're learning how to read waves, like wherever you are at in your journey, if you're just working on the mechanics of form and technique, yes, there is improvement when there's repetition. Knowledge is power. When you learn the skills and you harness the mindset of applying these skills, yes, the mind is so important. What a powerful tool that we have. But eventually, surfing in congruence with mechanics becomes a sense, it becomes a feeling of when to paddle into the wave. Imagine if you weren't able to see. Could you actually feel into what the wave is doing? Could you actually anticipate what the wave will do? Because it's simply a feeling. Imagine being in an area where you are literally right next to the water, to the surf break, and you didn't rely on the surf report, but you relied on your intuition and the natural flow of the ocean and the waves and actually what the tide is doing. Okay. Now, these are all ways to improve your surfing. These are also all ways to improve your health and wellness and your just in general well being, because you can apply these principles to life. And so this program is all about harnessing the mindset that you need in order to pursue your surfing journey, to improve, to surrender, and to apply the knowledge. And it's also about cultivating a very trusting relationship with you and the ocean, with you and your skills, with you and your ability, by listening to your inner voice and by applying all of these things. Because when we're learning how to surf and we're learning how to improve, you can really only focus on one or two things at a time. And it's about acceptance. It's about accepting where you're at and just working with what you are able to do on that day and then to apply it from there. So in this program, we set intentions. And in this process, we identify your fears as a way to confront them, to release them, and also objectify them, to simply accept that they're there and they might always be there. And as we improve our surfing, the fears become different. As we surf bigger waves, the fears become different. So it's all about how we are making peace with those fears and then utilizing them as an ally, essentially. Because when we identify our fears, we cultivate more trust. And so we're constantly working with this balancing of confronting and accepting and becoming allies with our fears while we increase our trust and we build our trust within ourselves and with our relationship with the ocean. Because when we paddle out on those days that are pretty big or we just don't feel right, the ocean is telling you something. The ocean is saying, today is not the day. So, can you actually surrender and just go in and accept that today is not my day? Today, I'm not surfing because the ocean is telling me that I need to get out of the water. There's a difference between receiving that information through our intuition versus receiving it through the mind that is strictly based on fear. When we become conscious of the amount of fear driven thoughts that we operate from, we actually allow for surrender to take place and we allow and create space for trust and an actual space for listening to that soft inner voice that's speaking to you from a place of love, from a place of trust versus just these very intrusive or invasive patterns of fear. And again, this is our surfing journey, but this can apply to your life. The ocean is the cosmic womb. So she is a ever flowing infinite womb of energy with no boundaries where we are constantly dissolving old patterns and giving birth to new versions of ourselves. And so as we are setting our intentions, we set our goals and we set our clear intentions. This is specific for each person. And when we do this, I work with that person and we identify what these things are. And then we honor that and we harness it and we embrace it. And in this program, we have breath work and mindset tools to help you really work with what comes up as you are facing this journey. Again, this applies to your practical, physical, in-person lessons, as well as the on Zoom, more theoretical and exploratory stuff that we're talking about in this resource guide. And then with these tools, with these resources, you're paddling out and you're applying the knowledge. The ocean is, there's a partnership with the ocean and our intuition. Okay. So, surfing, there's proper form and technique that we need to learn. There's education around the surf break conditions. Depending on where you're surfing, it applies to anywhere that you're surfing. It's important that we educate ourselves on what those are. So there's a library of knowledge that builds when we are learning proper form and technique, educating ourselves within the world of understanding what surfing is, conditions, and then we're building muscle memory through repetition, right? And as our skill improves, we're building confidence. It's also really important to remember as a principle within this program, within surfing and within life, confidence comes from within. So as you're building this muscle memory, learning this knowledge, applying the skills, you are building confidence within yourself because you will eventually see degrees of improvement. And so this program really allows you to reflect on the learning. And it takes time, which is why it's really cool to have these 4 or 8 week programs, which is why I recommend doing the 2 week, 4 week, or 8 week program so that you can really sit with the knowledge that you're learning and then allow it all to absorb into your body, into your muscle memory that you're gaining. Naturally, in this process, there is healing. When we do something we're afraid of, it supports in resolving emotions that are ready to be felt, realized, and released from our emotional body and our body's consciousness. So again, you're accessing your intuition, you're accessing your body's consciousness, you're accessing these parts of you that might be dormant due to fear. So naturally in this process there is a process of healing that is different for everybody. And beyond that there's empowerment. So when we have the knowledge, right? We're gaining the knowledge of working with our intuition, the ocean. We're building a relationship with the ocean, our intuition, our body's consciousness, our muscle memory, our mind. We are allying with the fears. We are building trust. We are then working with all of these elements and resources versus resisting it. And with that, there's empowerment. And on the other side of this, there's a new version of yourself that is in alignment with your nature. It is just the natural progression of this process. So what we're doing is we are accessing the natural state within all of us. Surfing is a healing modality that is a resource for joy. If we're not having fun, then what are we doing? That really is the number one thing. Are you having fun? Are you enjoying this process? It's a resource for creating and self-actualizing our life force energy. Surfing the ocean is a powerful energy, and she will initiate, ignite, and light up something in you that allows you to move on to the next step within your journey. So surfing begins with a desire, and the desire leads to a lifestyle that is individual for each person. It has meaning specifically for each person, and that's the beauty of it. So surfing serves as a guiding tool towards supporting us in returning to this natural state. A question that commonly comes up to me and within this program is what feels natural for me and really what feels natural for you? This is a question that I will ask because a lot of this is a process of reflection and then application of your own internal inner voice that is teaching you. The ocean is our teacher, and the ocean will help you create the space of accessing that inner voice within you that is going to improve your surfing skills. It's going to help heal and empower you in many ways. And then boom, like you're ready to travel the world and surf the waves that you are truly wanting to surf. Depending on what your desires are, depending on what your goals are. It's different for each person. So in this program, we have a workbook and resource guide that you have access to throughout the program. So surfing is a solitary sport. It's a beautiful thing to do on our own because it's a way to really just have that time to yourself. But it's a community. It's driven by community. And there is amazing energy that happens when people come together and they surf. There's plenty of ways for all of us to share, okay? So it becomes a special experience. So again, this workbook is a way for you to reflect and apply the knowledge that you're learning and to really get to know yourself and what it is that you need in this process. And so what you're doing is you're mastering your intuition. You're cultivating this very powerful and strong relationship with your intuition that's going to help you through the process. So these are some reflection questions that we would walk through. Why do you desire to surf? Like this is an opportunity to journal or to do, to handle this however you see fit. Describe where your desire comes from and why. Why do you surf? Why do you surf? Describe the feeling after you surf. What does that feel like for you personally? It helps us to identify the why. Feel free to flow and write your thoughts and anything that comes to your mind. So this is one of the first steps in the resource guide before you start week 1. Okay, because you'll receive this as soon as you sign up for the program. We will set a schedule that fits your needs, and you'll receive this resource guide the moment that you sign up so that you have it in order to prepare. The intuition in the ocean, right? So intuition is a deep knowing feeling and trust that speaks from within. It's a very quiet whisper. What does intuition mean to you? Can you feel and hear your intuition when you surf? This is a really great exercise to help you understand if you're over identifying with the mind. So describe your experience for the following questions. Do you feel trust when you're surfing? Do you feel fear? Which one dominates? So what we do and what you can do, what you will do ideally before your first lesson in the program and before your first Zoom class, it's really good to confront your fears and to confront what your relationship with trust is. And so in this workbook, I take you through some exercises and some questions to really allow you to take the time within yourself, the time you need in order to figure out what that is for you. And then beyond trust, or beyond fear and trust, there's joy, peace, and confidence. So as we are identifying the fears, learning about our relationship with trust, we are also identifying the benefits, right? The beautiful outcomes that we experience as we surf and move through our journey, because we really want to recognize what all of this is. It's all inclusive. It's an inclusive experience that changes, evolves, and improves based on whatever your goals are. And I also offer a meditation clearing where you listen to it and you are given the opportunity to answer questions throughout. And what it does is it really just allows you to relax and to, again, confront these fears, build your relationship with trust, and get really clear about your intentions and your goals, like your tangible goals of what you want to achieve in this program and then beyond. Like, what is it that you want to do with all of this knowledge after the program? Perhaps it's attend our surf immersion experience happening this coming April in 2025. So that's an option, right? Okay, in a nutshell, this is the progress or the process. We witness our progress. A mantra: I am making degrees of improvement every day. Surfing is hard. So the moment that we just surrender and acknowledge that it's bit by bit, day by day, step by step, the more you give yourself permission to really thrive. Then there's trust. I trust my intuition and the messages I'm receiving from the ocean. There's always support. The ocean supports me. I'm trusting my ability. Today is a new day. I'm supported in my effort. The perfect wave is the most non-perfect wave, the most imperfect wave. The sooner we accept that, the better we actually will become. There is a development process here. I trust my muscle memory because I am dedicated to my practice. We must acknowledge the progress we're making because we are all doing good and doing a great job. There will be frustrating moments. There will be moments where you want to give up, but that really comes down to your relationship with yourself, your desires to surf, and what you're truly wanting to get out of this, and then seeing the progress evolve throughout. When we're surfing, it's really important to always tap into gratitude. Each time we paddle out, to say thank you. I'm grateful for the ocean, for sharing this space with me, for keeping me safe, for blessing me with this ability to paddle out today. Gratitude is so important because when we integrate our intuitive flow of our form, technique, and skills, and then just honoring what the ocean provides for us. We are essentially living in our nature, and we are co creating with nature. And that is really what we as humans are designed to do, is to co create with nature, with the universe in this whole entire process. So, this is the workbook and resource guide. This is the preparation prior to week 1. I'm going to stop here because I think that I have addressed a lot of what this program is about. I'm going to stop sharing. And I welcome you into this Yoniswell Surf Collective space. What we are doing is we are empowering the divine feminine. Again, it's this cultivating of trust, receiving, and creating a life that we desire because we are truly trusting, listening, and receiving. And part of what I do is, for me, surfing is a spiritual practice. And so I offer astrology readings, I offer astrology forecasts. I'm also going to be doing a deep dive in integrating the 7 chakra system with the surfing resources that we provide. And what that does is it really just allows you to increase the ability to connect to your intuition. The 7 chakras is an energy system within us all that allows us to really process and get in touch with our emotional, mental, and spiritual well-being. It's a way to get in touch with our body's consciousness. And so, as surfing for me, and I believe there are many out there that are desiring to have this connection with surfing as a spiritual one, the moon dictates the tides. So, Yoniswell Surf Collective is a space for healing and empowering the soul. It's a space for returning to your nature. It's a space for awakening the divine feminine within you, whether you are male or female. We all have masculine and feminine energies within us. And through the astrology that I offer as a resource, it's a way for you to get in touch with the energetic archetypes that make up each of us individually. Your birth chart is the consciousness that you chose from an archetype perspective to help you understand the why of who you are on a soul level and what you came here to do so that you could fulfill your soul's intention in this lifetime. So, yeah, it's a space for spiritual practice, for improving your surfing journey, for connecting with community of like-minded individuals who are ready for the up-leveling of energy that is coming our way, where we are going to be looking for a higher understanding of who we are on a soul level and how we can make that practical. And surfing is one of them. So I will explore this further. Not only am I going to be integrating the knowledge of the 7 chakra system as a way for you to really get in touch with your intuition and understand your body's consciousness, really as a way for you to get in alignment with mind, heart, and soul and body. I'm going to be doing a deep dive on the asteroid goddesses, because they are, again, archetypes that live within all of us that can really empower us in this life, in understanding who we are, and also as surfers. Like, which divine feminine asteroid goddess are you today? So, this may be a lot. Watch it again if you want. Lastly, I am offering 20% off of any of Yoniswell's offerings. So when you look at the information below, you can always email me at hello@jordanaughton.com, or you can go to the page of intuitive surf coaching, for example. Or if you want an astrology reading or any of the offerings that you see on the website, I'm offering a 20% discount on either the hour-long offerings and or the packaged offerings. If you have any questions, please reach out. I hope this presentation has been beneficial for you to understand a bit about what Yoniswell Surf Collective is. And I hope you have a beautiful evening, week. Right now, we are entering the year of 2025, depending on when you end up watching this. Happy New Year. As we say in Yoniswell Surf Collective, I am sending you oceans of love.